First thing I started out with was this chord progression right here. So on top of that, I added the moto bass too. So what I like to do for my basses, if you didn't already know, I like to add a lot of spaces in between so it sounds more realistic, and none of these are actually like fully on time to give it kind of like the effect if I was playing a real bass guitar. So the next thing I got pulled up is this Sampletron 2, and I got the Good Vibes preset. What sounds kind of cool about this is it has all these like random little notes. You can do this by hitting Alt and S and then hitting chop chords. So the next thing I added was these strings, also from the Sampletron 2, the beautiful cello preset, and I was also just copying that MIDI over, but I did take some of the notes out. I really like this preset because it goes really well with the first sound and the second sound, and it kind of sounds like a string, but also sounds like some horns at the same time. So this is what we got so far. So what really gives a lot of these samples more rhythm is the drum loop. So I did add this drum loop from Liwi, and I took the end of it and put it at the end so you could kind of see it was going into a transition. And this is how it sounds with just one of the sounds, so you can kind of see it going into the transition. So what's good about that is you can also introduce a new section to the sample, or you can introduce some new sounds to kind of make it more unique and spice it up. So then I added one more Sampletron preset, this Mallet roll stack, so it's pretty much like a cool texture to play in the background. As you can see, once again, all I did was I copied that MIDI over from the first two sounds. So on the second part of the sample, it introduces the Rhodes classic piano, and I copied the same MIDI over, but I took a lot of the notes out, so it's way more simple. As you can see on the last part, I also added a lot more notes. I pretty much copied most of these over, and I just inverted them up an octave because I kind of wanted that last chord to be more impactful on the second half of the sample. So once again, I added another Sampletron 2. I used the Dusty Tron Flute preset. So then one of the last sounds I added was this flute from the Spitfire Symphony Orchestra. So it was pretty much a counter melody that I added to follow the chord progression, so it was pretty simple. And I normally don't show my effects because I don't really use too many effects that are crazy, but in this case I did process all the sounds to sound alike so they fit together in the mix, and I used the CLA 76. And for some of the sounds, if I wanted more of a saturation, I would use the Abbey Road saturator in stereo. But as for the master, I added an Abbey Road vinyl, and I used this preset right here, the mastering starting point, and I used the Good Hertz Wolf compressor on the 2-bus glue preset. And then I finished off the sample by pitching it down 2 semitones, and I pitched it down by -10 cents just to give it a slight detune. Here's what the final sample sounds like. Hope you guys learned something in this tutorial, and if y'all did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see next. Follow me on Instagram if you want, Keyon, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.